Viking here from Nagel's GunShop in San Antonio, Texas, and today I've got a couple of Smith & Wessons I'd like to show y'all. We're a Smith & Wesson ambassador dealer, so if you tune into our YouTube channel with a new video, you're bound to see something cool. Now, this isn't exactly news right here. This is a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. This is kind of a new class of firearms that's become very popular. Go ahead and close this box real quick. It's double stack, kind of subcompact and smaller, pocket size almost, 9mm. They've become all the rage for about the last 3 years, starting with the SIG 365, which is a very good gun, and then the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus came out, which is just a slightly wider double stack version of the Shield, which gives you a lot more ammo in the gun. I mean, this gun holds, like 14 rounds loaded. Another example would be the Springfield Hellcats in the same class. This is kind of the booming, new category of firearms that everyone wants to get into right now. So this one, worked off of the Shield proven pistol platform. It's a striker fired gun. They just add the double stack magazine instead of the single stack because it gives you a lot more ammunition in a gun that's only a tiny bit wider. And this has been very popular. We've had a lot of people that have enjoyed these, but almost all of these guns in this class, this pocket pistol 9mm double stack kind of class, all of them have kind of been in the same basic construction. They've been striker fired, they've been polymer framed, and they've usually used a magazine that has kind of a funnel shape at the top of the double stack. So it goes from double stack to single at the very top. That's been a pretty typical feature of all three of those pistols to one degree or another. And the reason for that is in the nature of the polymer frame and the trigger bar. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into the design of it, but really you need to have that slight squeeze of the magazine at the top to get that to work out. Today we have something totally new to show y'all, though. It's kind of in the same vein, but it has kind of a twist to it that's very cool and very unusual. No one else has brought something like this to market yet. So this is from Smith & Wesson, and that is a brand new design. This has not been on the market, and nothing like it has been on the market that I'm aware of before now. So this is the Smith & Wesson CSX. This is a brand new offering. We got this really early in Smith & Wesson's release of this firearm. And the reason for that is we're an ambassador level dealer with them. We are the place to go to for Smith & Wesson products. And this gun is very interesting because it is a double stack 9mm. This is a tiny double stack 9mm magazine. This one holds 10 rounds, so there's 11 in this gun if you were to fully load it. There's also a slightly extended magazine that comes in the box. But the thing that's cool about this is it's hammer fired. So it's got a hammer fired design similar to like a 1911 or some other guns. And it's got an alloy frame. This frame is metal, not plastic. And in this category of like pocket 9mm in double stack, there has been nothing like this that I'm aware of thus far. This is kind of an interesting new and old take on things because it's got the classic 1911 style grip angle, which is very nice to have. It's got the single action, hammer fired design and all of that. It's also got a manual safety. It's very similar to a 1911's manual safety. But it's got a trigger safety, very similar to a Glock, so the trigger has a lot of inherent safety to it that you just don't get with most single-action pistols. And it's got a lot of modern design features you just don't see on most single-action hammer-fired pistols. A couple of nice things about it, for example, it's completely ambidextrous. Even the slide stop and release, you don't see that on any single-action style pistols that I'm aware of, except for a couple of little niche ones. Any of the major manufacturers, you almost always see it's only on the left side for a hammer-fired gun. On this one, it's actually ambi completely. You could use this as a left-handed shooter with the exact same manual of arms for your magazine release. Same with the safety, it is completely ambi. The magazine release is reversible, so you can flip it to the other side with the included parts. So you have a completely ambidextrous pistol, which is, not actually that common. You think it would be. You'll see a lot of pistols that say they're ambidextrous. So what they mean by that is you can manage to work the gun as a left-handed shooter without having to do too many weird things. But in this case, this is truly ambidextrous. Every control is mirrored on each side of the gun exactly. You could shoot this with the exact same motions, mirrored imaged, left-handed as right-handed. The safety is really nice, the manual one. It is not too big. A lot of the times these manual safeties, when they're ambi, will dig into my hand on the right side here. or if you're a left-handed shooter, it'd be the opposite problem. But this one's very, very low profile. It is big enough to easily deactivate. Smith & Wesson may have had some slight issues with manual safeties that weren't easy to deactivate with certain 380s they made, but they've definitely learned from that. This gun has a manual safety that is very easy to deactivate. It just naturally wants to turn off when you properly grip the gun, which is exactly what you want on a manual safety on a carry pistol. As soon as you grip this gun and purchase it and get your hands around it, that manual safety wants to turn off. But it's completely ambient. You can use it left-handed, right-handed. One thing that's a little different than like a 1911 is that when the manual safety is on, you can actually load and unload the firearm. So that's kind of cool. And also the manual safety can be turned on when the firearm is decocked, which a lot of single-action guns won't let you do. This one will. So that's kind of cool. It offers a few other things you don't usually see. This grip back strap here is actually replaceable. You use a little tool to push that in. This whole thing comes off. There's actually a couple of extra ones, at least one extra one, yeah, the smaller one included with it. And I guarantee you, a lot of manufacturers don't like it when I talk about aftermarket stuff, but I guarantee you that there will be aftermarket grip modules to put on this in the future to change the grip to whatever you may want it to be. So that's a pretty neat feature you don't see on a lot of things. Especially you don't see that on alloy frame guns. That's very rare. Alloy frame guns almost never have grip additions that you can add or remove, especially on a production gun. So that's pretty cool. You don't see that very often. The trigger safety is nice. That's a very good safety feature to have. It's kind of like a Glock's trigger safety. And what that's there for is to prevent objects from getting in here and easily being able to activate the trigger, or under inertia. The trigger cannot be easily pulled back all the way to the rear under inertia because there's actually a balance in here between the two sides of this little trigger safety. And it's actually heavier on the side that's away from it being deactivated. So if this gun was to hit an object really hard in the rearward direction, the safety for this would actually want to activate more, not deactivate, which prevents the rest of the trigger from moving to the rear. So it's a pretty nice safety feature. Same reason Glock has that. You see that on a lot of modern guns, but you don't see it on many single action pistols. There's very few of them that have that. So that's a nice thing to see. It's also got metal sights on it. I'm not going to name any names, but a certain manufacturer loves to put plastic sights on their modern pistols. You really shouldn't have plastic sights on a modern pistol. They come off too easy. They're too easily damaged. These are actually steel, and that's really nice to have. Those are not going to be damaged if you accidentally drop the pistol or it gets hit by something. Also, they did a really nice job with this texturing on top of the slide. A lot of people don't know what that's for. A lot of people think that's something you see like on old shotguns like Grandpa owned or something. But this has a purpose. When you're looking down those sights, when you're actually trying to see a target, if there's a lot of light behind the target or around it, there's a lot of glare that can come back up at you from the top of the pistol. And by putting these little ridges, it actually makes that go away. It makes all the light that comes down get reflected away from the shooter to the left or the right. And it makes it for a very matte background and no glare coming off of your sight picture. Same reason the back of the sight itself is has the same kind of texturing, is to make it very matte and not reflective. So that's nice to have. It does have 3 dots, so that's kind of cool. Traditional modern style sights. So it's got a lot of things going for it. If we grab the other magazine to kind of show y'all, it does come with an extended magazine. This one, it's made to be a very compact and easy to carry pistol. It is smaller than the Shield Plus, so the extended magazine holds 12. I think the Shield Plus held 13, but at any rate, it doesn't really matter too much to me because this is a tiny gun. You could almost fit this in jean pockets if you tried hard. You can definitely carry it inside the waistband easily. And you can have 13 rounds in this gun of 9mm, which is a really good cartridge. And it's going to provide a lot of fighting potential in a gun that's really easy to carry. It's very thin. It's got very nice, rounded edges. Even like the chamber edge here for the ejection port is chamfered so that it doesn't have like a sharp edge that can catch on things when you're drawing the gun. Same on the front. It's always funny to see a manufacturer that'll like chamfer the back of something but not the front. And the front's actually the part that can catch when drawing the gun out of a holster. So it's really good to see they actually chamfer the right part on this pistol. Unlike certain manufacturers that seem to just want to make the gun aerodynamic with no actual thought for what drawing it is like. So they've done a really good job thinking this through as a carry gun. I like that it's an alloy frame. It's actually metal. This is something that you can give to your great-grandkids someday. It will hold up. It's also got a decent amount of rigidity to it. It's not going to flex a whole lot in your hand. It's got the exchangeable back straps in case you do have different size hands between different people that are going to use it. has the manual safety as an option, which is really nice to have. Definitely like that, especially if you're going to like appendix carry this gun or something. There's a lot of arguments about appendix carry, and what I'll say is if you're going to appendix carry, get a gun with a manual safety on it, one that you can use. And also the fact it's single action, it's got a nice crisp trigger on it, which is very hard to find on a striker fired gun, so that's something very nice. It's got that crisp and very clean break to it. It's very nice to have. It's got good reset and a lot of force to it. And it's got that trigger safety on it, which is very nice to have. So overall, I'm very excited about this pistol. I think it's going to bring a lot to the market that no one's really brought before. We've never seen a gun this size in 9mm holding this many rounds that is single action and has the alloy frame. That's just an unusual combination, and it makes for a really tiny gun, smaller than a lot of the other guns in this fairly new class of pistol. So if you'd like to take a look at one, we have a fairly large number in stock, but these are going to go very quickly. So if you want to get down to our shop and actually put your hands on one, we will have them on display as long as they last. We do expect to carry them regularly, but these are going to be in high demand, so we may not have them for long at any particular batch. Or if you'd like to call us, ask any questions, feel free to give us a call at 210-342-5420. Be glad to talk to you about this gun and see if we can answer any questions you have about it. Have a good day.